Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hello, my friends. So we are meeting. I'm in another setting. We reached yesterday quite late in Switzerland. We should have reached 2 days earlier, but when we came to Bangalore, the flight was cancelled and we had to wait for 2 days in a hotel. But yesterday, finally it worked. So there we are in Switzerland, in an apartment of friends who are not staying there, that we can spend our quarantine here in a nice setting. It's a beautiful place. It's a little teeny village out in the country. When I look out of the windows, I see the forests. It's not Arunachala, but it's beautiful. And Arunachala, what it means, can come with us wherever we go. Achala means the unmoving. We have that unmoving part in us. It's always there. It's never absent. No matter where our body is moving, what we are doing, it's always there. Arunachala. It's quite a new experience coming from our haven there in the countryside at Tiruvannamalai, then to go through all the checks and all the crazy things. Of course, since we were 2 days delayed, again on the airport, they did another test, sticking up these things in both nostrils. Poor. But here we are. It's a funny world right now. People are insecure, don't quite know how to behave, would like to be pushed, don't know whether they can be close. We just have to go through it. It's still continuing. Right now in Europe, it's a bit relaxing. Who knows what is going to happen in the future? But the whole control mechanism is very much in place. It will continue for some more time, I guess. Everybody is free. in their true nature. Connect with that freedom, and then we cannot be affected by what is happening. You are that pure light. Connect with that pure light. And then we can play our role in this crazy matrix without taking it so serious. Adjusting to the situation, adjusting to what can be done, cannot be done, allowing our own little freedoms wherever it's possible. But be free in yourself, in your experience, in your consciousness. Connect with that light, with the joyousness of existence. And nothing of that can really affect us. Okay, let's start our communication. Is there anyone who would like to come in and talk? Please come in.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Dayal.
Nice to see you. Safe in Europe. I have a question. Recently, I met in the internet a teacher who teach how to get out of the body. That means somehow similar like lucid dreams or astral traveling.
Yes.
And his teaching attracted me.
Yeah.
By this way, he was explaining it. And I see if I will be able easily to move out of the body, that means my consciousness will get out of my body and body will lie down on the bed. I will get the feeling that I am not the body, and I will lose the fear of death, and I will lose the such obsession of this material world. But at the same time, I remember Vipassana teachers always say, don't go out of the body, always working inside the body. So, and some other teachers, and I think you also not advising this traveling out of the body. So what can you advise about these techniques?
Yeah. Have you started to practice it? Try to slip out of the body?
Yes, I try it because I find out I'm already a little bit similar practice. Going on Vipassana, asking meditate on the bed 5 minutes before the sleep and 5 minutes after awakening. And this teacher also advised similar things, that it's very easy to do that just after we are wake up and still lie down on the bed. And I find out this is kind of good approach for me because I'm already doing that. Yeah. I'm not get a result to be out of the body, but I feel it's possible. I get the feeling I'm really about it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. If you can slip out of the body, okay, you are right. Then that idea that I am the body certainly is getting weaker, because you can experience that you are not in the body and still you are existing unconscious. But it is not helping to free yourself from the idea, I am this person. After that, you are just a person who is capable to go out of the body. On one hand, you have the advantage, reducing that physical identification, but then the temptation, the fascination of it can also divert your attention from really focusing on yourself, what you really are. Because if you are capable to go out of the body for the mind, it's a very fantastic experience and very beautiful new possibilities may open up to explore, and one can get a bit lost in all that. So in case you start to make progress and have success with what you are doing, just remind yourself what counts is that you are focusing on what is it that makes the experience possible, and not get lost in all the fantastic possibilities that may open up.
I see.
It's because of that rather in the traditional approaches, they don't encourage to do so, because in the long run, instead of getting faster on your spiritual approach, it may be a bit diversion that one gets so fascinated, and the intention to really become aware of yourself may fade a bit away, because you think, oh, it's quite wonderful what one can experience. And then lose the drive to really come back home to yourself. I remember that when I was struggling, and once I said to Amma, even if you don't want to give me the real thing now, at least let me go out of the body, that I don't feel so confined. That's one time I really made her angry. She didn't want to hear a word of it. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm not saying you should not do that conscious breathing before you sleep or after you wake up, and you can open up that it helps you to be aware that you can also, with your subtle body, slip out of the growth of the physical body. But always remind yourself, what is it that makes the experience possible? Find that, dive into that, connect with that. And then if you are clear about that, even if you have fantastic experience on the astral level, in the subtle worlds that may be opening up, then you don't get diverted. But if you get totally fascinated by that, then instead of spiritually growing faster because of that, you may also slow down that process. Just,
yes, I also
just be clear what is important, what is the main importance. And that's why I guess that the Vipassana teacher says stay in the body, because what makes the experience possible is the same, whether the subtle body is in the physical body or out of the physical body. It's still, yeah.
I feel that before to go out of the body, I have to go in the body, because most of the people not really in the body, they're somewhere in the mind, in the thoughts. So, and this time, just after awakening in the bed, lying down, it's very helpful to me. I just feel my body very more clearly than usually. And now I start to practicing go into the body more deeper and feel it, and how to say, floating in the body, in all the parts, feel it more clearly. And as well, I feel the body also means something, how to get liberation. For us, in the body, a lot of sankharas connecting, and we can easily eradicate it. So
Yes.
that's what I feel. And
Right.
by the way, I also then I want to ask you about this practicing just before the sleep in the bed and just after awakening. What do you think about it, and how long can we continue lying on the bed, meditating by lying down? What do you think about such practices inside of the body, or just breathing, observing the respiration?
You mean now when you go to sleep, how long you can do that? Or
Yes, before the sleep or after the sleep. Mostly I meditate after I wake up. I have time and I keep on lying down, sometime maybe half an hour, sometimes maybe more, just feeling my body, feeling my respiration. So what do you think about such practicing and importance of such practices?
yes, if that appeals to you, it's a very good practice. It doesn't really matter whether you are lying or whether you are sitting. Sitting is recommended because generally it's easier to stay focused, because when we are lying down, it's easier to just start to dream away and maybe go to sleep again. So I cannot say how long you should do. You do as long as you feel like. But what you said before, I think is good. That instead of desperately trying to get out of the body, it's very good to become very aware of the body. This is actually, some people, some teachers say, no, 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 don't do that because the attachment to the body is increasing. But if we do that consciously, it's not true. It's not that the attachment is increasing. It's simply making us more aware to be here now and accept, okay, the body is an instrument through which I'm functioning on this level, but it's good to be really fully alive in this instrument in order to become more aware in the present moment, and in the present moment you are touching yourself. So I'd rather advise you to continue like that, to focus more when you do this briefing on being aware, fully alive, fully vital in your body, in all your body parts, than trying to slip out of your body. But I'm not saying you should never slip out of your body, but it's not something that we should search for and pursue as a goal and then get a bit stranded and waylaid. But let it, if it happens on the way, let it happen. If it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. Not to make it an important part. I have met a number of people who naturally could do that, to go out of the body whenever they wanted, easily. Spiritual sadhaks, they had that their whole life long, but none of them I felt it was an advantage for them. It was more that they had the tendency to use it as an escape whenever it was getting a bit too difficult to deal with the situation. They simply escaped out of it, but that doesn't resolve the situation. Sooner or later we have to come back and deal with whatever we have to deal with.
Okay, okay, thank you. This is important because this teaching attract me very much, but I find advantages for Vipassana as well. His advices just about the time and how to use it. So I will continue working in the body.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I think that's a good path.
Okay.
Okay. Hari Om.
Okay, thank
Hari
you.
Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
It's fascinating for the mind to think, okay, I can learn to slip out of the body. Maybe I can start to learn to travel and travel to other realms, travel to other worlds. It's very fascinating for the mind, but it can be very distracting. In that development of becoming self-aware, here, now. So I would generally advise what I just told to Dial. If it happens, okay, let it happen, but don't run after these things. They can be very distracting and cause a lot of delay. Okay, let's leave the subject. Is there anybody else who would like to come in? Please come. I'm having the light a bit from one side. Can you see me properly? Maybe I should have checked the position out earlier in the morning when the light came more from the other side too. I hope it's all right.
Yes, it is.
It is. Can you see me properly?
Oh, yes.
Okay. What Dale said is a very beautiful and a very helpful approach. It's maybe not for everybody that they feel attracted to that, but if one feels that resonates, just breathing consciously. It's pure magic. We can do that when we are sitting and meditating or lying and meditating. And we can learn to do that more and more no matter what we are doing. No matter how active we are, we can learn with the help of the breath to be very, very present. And it has the advantage that it includes the physical level. So the body learns to adjust all the time, that the energy gradually is increasing and increasing. And so the body is also dealing with the new situation little by little in a very gentle, natural way, becoming capable of standing higher energies. I was very much aware again on the way, on the travel, just breathing consciously. It's pure magic. Then no matter what is happening, no matter where you are, whether you are in a tense situation, whether you are amongst people who are rather in a funny state of mind and full of fear and insecurity, it doesn't touch. And even we cannot be outside of their energies. So where the body is, all these energies also will go in the body. But if we breathe consciously, they are so easily transformed. They don't accumulate and create more and more heaviness. Then we can go fearlessly to anything. Oh, I have to. Just have to put the current on. We can go fearlessly to anything that is expecting us on our way, whether it's funny or not funny, whether it's easy or whether it's heavy. It's one approach. It can also be combined with other approaches. It can be combined with mantra japa. It can be combined with self-inquiry. Anyhow, for me, it's a favorite aspect. I can understand for some people, when I talk like this, they feel, oh, no, this is not appealing at all. It's not the only way. It's a very efficient, a very powerful way. Anyhow, I'm asking again, is there anyone who would like to come in? Please come. I see there is a message.
Hello, Werner.
Hello. Just checking a message. Ah, a confirmation that you can see me well. Okay. Hello, Nelly.
Hello, Werner. Very glad to see you that you arrived okay, safety.
Yes, yes, we are in one piece.
Great. I want to share something. I see some pleasant moments in my meditation.
Yeah.
Yes, and I feel very, very good that I began to see some changes in my way, in my spiritual way, because I haven't seen them for a long time, for many years. And I see now that something is changing. I told you about it already last times, but I see that it's going on, and it's very small, but it motivates me very much to go on.
That's good.
Yes. I can't say that I don't have some negative emotions or something like this. I feel maybe the same as always, but I feel that some strength in me is growing on too. And this helps me very much. And I have less doubts in myself about my meditation, that I always thought that maybe I do something wrong, or it's not my way, maybe I should do another practice or something like this. Now I feel myself more stable, and I don't care about if my meditation is successful or not. I just take it like it is. So I watch it, and it doesn't matter what emotions I have after this. So I feel that this strength is coming, and yes, it supports me too much. So it's growing on inside.
Very good. Great. Continue like this.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Werner.
Is there anything you wanted to ask about it, or you just wanted to share this with us?
I wanted to share this, and I feel a lot of thanks to you for your support and for your motivation and everything that comes out from you. It helps me so much. I appreciate it very much all the time. Yeah, and I have a question too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. I have this question last time about my daughter, and I just think how to do
Yes.
with this. Because you know that she again was in this relationship with this guy that
Yeah.
that I don't approve and and don't support, because the relationship is dangerous and so on. And one time she came to me with him, but she didn't ask me if she could come with him or not. I just saw them together, and I feel that I don't feel good seeing them together.
Mm-hmm.
They came just for 2 hours, and I didn't show my negative attitude or something like this. But I thought about it. I wrote a letter to her and with some questions and so on. But now I suppose that she can come again to me, and maybe she wants to come with him again. And I see that deep inside I don't want to see him with her, but I know that I can't forbid her to meet him and so on, but it's her own business, of course. But if she wants to come to me with him again, I feel very unpleasant feelings. I don't want this. And I want to tell her this, but from the other side, I'm afraid to spoil our contact, because our contact is not so strong. I work at it to improve it now, our relationship, but it doesn't happen so easy, because we don't see each other very often. So I have this dilemma what to do, how to behave in this situation. I don't want to be false.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't want to spoil our relationship. So I'm in these thoughts now.
No, you don't have to be false, but you can work mainly on yourself in this situation. That, okay, you don't approve, but then she has to live her life, and if her life is a dangerous path, then if she wants that, if she needs that, then she has to leave that and get the results from it. What you can is to connect with her, with love, with support, and if she wants to come with her friend, it would be a good exercise that you still connect. Instead of connecting with your unhappy feeling that they are together, you connect with her, with the being of her, and support her. And maybe this is also helping to change their relationship, or maybe whenever she has difficulty, at least she feels that she's welcome with you, and somehow you are ready to help her if it's necessary. You don't have to be false, but if you feel too strongly that it's not possible that the three of you are together, then you can also tell her, I prefer that you come and visit me alone. But if it happens that they come, the two of them, and then you can mainly work on yourself in that situation, instead of thinking, it's not good, then okay, then watch those feelings in you and let them go. Relax those feelings. Let them go and just be in the moment and respond to the moment spontaneously.
Oh, I see, Werner. I see how how it is not easy for me. I see it, this reaction in myself. Yes, I watch it. I think about it.
Yes, it's always about ourselves. The job is always about ourselves, and that's the best we can do for the others, and especially to those who are close to us.
Yeah, but from the other side, I see that I don't want to be a saver, how to say, a person who always comes to save. So she meets him and everything is okay. Then they have fighting again, and she calls me and tells me that, oh, how bad it is, and oh, poor me, and so on. And I help and so on. And everything repeats again. And he calls me and tells in his tone, so something like this. I say that I don't want to be in this role of safer. How to say? I don't want in this play. I told her that I understand it's your life. I can't forbid you, but you are responsible for your relationship and for everything that can happen. But I just ask myself, what should I do if it repeats again? How to behave in this situation? I think that I can give her emotional help for, yes, just to hug her, to be with her, but don't decide her problems with some destroyed furniture and something like this.
Right. I mean, it's good that you can give her help and support, and that you are strong in yourself, and she benefits from that. But at the same time, you don't have to be the garbage bin for her. That whenever it's getting too much, that she's just wanting to pour it out on you until she's again a bit better, and then she continues the same thing. So when she does that and you have enough of it, then you can also tell her, hey, come on. You're repeating the same thing over and over, and I told you, if you don't want that in your life, you better don't have it in your life. But if you insist in continuing, then you have also to learn to deal with the situation you are creating. I cannot resolve it for you.
Yes, thank you, Werner.
It's not easy for a mother to be strict with the daughter, and you are a bit afraid what it will do if you are not always saying what she likes. But it's better that you that you are true to yourself. At the same time, it's also a good exercise in patience and forbearance if suddenly they show up, the two, or situations come again, that you're not simply closing the door. I cannot give you now an instruction list in details what you should do and what you should say and how you have to do it. The important thing is that you see it as a challenge in your life, that there's something that is not easy, and accept that this is in your life like this. That, okay, you don't like it, but it's part of what you are facing, of your reality that you are facing. And so then make the best out of it for you, for yourself. And that's also the best what you can do for your daughter.
Yes, okay, Werner. Thank you very much. Yeah.
You're welcome. Hari
Hari
Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Okay. Is there anybody else who would like to come in? Please come. Sudha, you want to come and show yourself? Sudha just passed by, but now she's outside and talking to a friend in Nama's ashram. There is no one magic solution how to deal with life situations. Every life situation is again completely new. It may be repetitive, and yet it's still new and unique. The rule of thumb, the base, the most important thing is that we accept the situation as it is, and we are strong in ourselves, and then deal with the situation. Accepting the situation does not necessarily mean to approve with the situation. If I look around what is happening in the world, I'm not approving with a lot of things that are happening. Still, I accept totally this is what is happening. And then do make the best out of it. And so it is also in the relationship with people. Accepting doesn't mean one should be a yes, yes person, yes, yes, it's all right, yes, yes, it's good. Accepting simply means accepting that we don't resist that things are going the way they are going, because that resisting doesn't change anything, it simply drains our energy away. If people behave in ways that we don't like at all, that doesn't mean we have to approve what they are doing, but still we can accept, okay, that's what they are doing, that's where they are at, that's what they have to live through. And if we can have that acceptance, then we are much freer to really creatively connect with them. And even if they are not aware of it, but the more we connect with them in that creative way, the more we're supporting them and helping them and giving them a pointer how they can maybe resolve their difficult situation, how they can maybe learn to be less destructive with themselves and their surroundings. But our duty is always first that we make it clear in ourselves. And when we see that all these resistances are coming, that no, 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 it shouldn't be like this, it shouldn't be like this, it shouldn't be like this, that we work mainly on that. All right. Anybody else who would like to come? Please come. We are here for that. We came in this world knowing some things will be very nice, knowing some things will be not nice at all. Still we came. This is a beautiful opportunity. The world, how it functions. Consciousness, energy, love, connected with a physical body, experiencing all the limitations that come along with being in a body, gives us continuously opportunities to have a good, honest look at ourselves, see our reactions, see what we are doing, and learn not to create tensions, not to create resistances, not to create pain and suffering, but let every situation be an opportunity to turn the attention back to that which makes the experience possible, here, now, and relax in that. Not only in the situations we like, but also in the situations we don't like. Oh, there may be always so many situations we don't like, so many things that are happening we are not approving. So what? It's a good exercise to accept that it is as it is, but in spite of that, be aware there is that beautiful spring of creativity, of conscious experience that is not affected by whatever is happening, that is not affected whether we like it or don't like it. Still nobody who would like to come?
And I think your picture is frozen.
My picture is frozen.
Yeah.
I see. Well, then I don't think I can do something about it. I'm connected with the Wi-Fi of this place. If somehow, is it Anita?
Yeah.
Are you with the camera?
Well, I haven't put it in. No, I didn't. I can put it on. Yeah.
Ah,
I don't know if I, no, I'm not frozen.
no, no, I see you. Oh yes, now I see that picture is frozen.
Yeah.
I don't know what, let me see whether I can do something about that. I'll turn the camera off a moment and turn it on.
Mm-hmm. Ah, now it works. Great.
Okay.
Nice.
There we are. Okay. Did you want to say anything else or just make me aware that my picture stands still?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I like what you said before about the breathing. Become aware of the breathing if one is in a special situation, for example. But mostly I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I will try that maybe because, yeah, especially with people, if sometimes I get people who are angry and emotional, and that I'm very open and it affects me a lot.
Yeah.
But lately, actually, it's gone. It's much better that even if people are angry, I don't feel it, but it changes now again. So I get affected by it again, and then it passes anyway. But the breathing, I guess it's a really good idea.
Right. And it's not simply that you can think, okay, when there is difficult situation, then I simply hold on to my breathing. If you can remember at that time, fine. But if you don't do that usually, otherwise, then it's very unlikely that in the situation you will remember it. So don't wait until difficult situation come and then start to try to breathe consciously. But do it when it's easy. Do it when you are pattering around in your kitchen and there is no difficulty. You remember and breathe, and even the most simple things start to change. Then it's like everything becomes a spiritual practice, even if you are sweeping the floor and washing the dishes and doing this kind of stuff.
Right.
And if you do it in situations where it's easy to remember, then more and more it comes also in tense situations where usually we were always totally immediately in our reactions, and then if you have already built up that momentum of consciously breathing, then it's much easier at that moment also to remember. Yeah.
I mean, I did remember because you talked just before about being out of the body. That happened to me one time, that I've seen my body from outside,
Yeah.
from up, and I got totally fear. I thought, how I'm gonna come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I started breathing heavy, like, and then I was back. Then I was back in the body here.
Yeah, yeah.
So then it just automatically came to my mind, I have to breathe to feel my body again, to be back. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm not reacting very seldom. I would say I'm watching even if people are aggressive or something. But sometimes I don't know how to respond, and I say whatever comes to my mind. But I think it's really a good idea to breathe and remember, connect, and then I guess much better the situation would turn out smoothly. So maybe not. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Yeah.
The more it may not always turn out smoothly. Externally, sometimes situations may not be smooth. It happens. But what counts is the more you are capable of really connecting with the source, the more you grow in a tense situation. It's something very beneficial for you to experience an unpleasant and unfriendly, a tense situation and still retain that capacity of be connected consciously, as good as you can with the source. And on top of that, the more you do that, the more you handle also the situation in a creative way, that something creative comes out of it. That doesn't necessarily mean it always goes easy. It still may be tense and still may be not so pleasant, but the more you are connected, the more creativity, more beauty you bring into it automatically. We leave the mood phase. Okay. Sudha is again sneaking by now. I call her to come.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm calling visit
You're also here. Hi.
So nice.
Everybody.
So you're not in India
Yes,
now?
we were on the Satsang right now.
Still look Indian, huh? We made it close.
Yeah. Do you think that, I guess it's like that, but I thought to myself that since this is happening, especially with women, actually, that I get these angry women and that it has something to do with me or my conditioning. I had a very angry, emotional mother, or still have, but now she's not. But when I was small, and so that I don't know, this is coming because I don't know, I have to learn something or let go of something. Or do you think it has to do something with myself? If I again and again, it's not so much, but still, yeah, get in such situations where women get angry and really angry. Yeah, that I think yeah, I must attract that.
I guess that's certainly one aspect. It's not only that, but somehow something in you helps at least to create those situations, because that same thing in you knows you can very much learn from those situations if you learn to deal with them being less and less and less affected by it. It seems you have decided to confront it already before you were born, to be born in a family where the mother is very emotional and angry a lot of the time. And it seems, yes, still something in you is open that this can happen again and again in your life, because at the same time that feels, even if the situations are not pleasant, it's something that helps you to go deeper. And the more consciously you do that, the more consciously you focus on yourself, observe your own reactions, become aware of being in spite of the agitation on the surface, the more powerfully those very situations can help you to dive into your source.
Mm.
So it's not that you have to consciously think, I have to create them, this situation, but it's also not that you have to try to avoid them and run away from them, but just, if it happens, then okay, that's on the program again. next lesson.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
There are messages, but I think not a message. Ah, somebody just had proposed to do what I did, and it worked. Is there anybody else who would like to come? Please come. It's not done only with anger, what we just talked with Anita. It's with any life situations. And somehow we can accept that those life situations that come to us, somehow they are the proper situations that we have to face. That's what's on the program. On the program to become stronger, to go deeper, to learn, to dive in our own selves, whatever happens can be turned into a spiritual practice, into a spiritual challenge. That's what we are here for. That's what we came for to this world. Not to make a big career, not to earn a lot of money. If a career happens, fine. If one earns a lot of money, fine. But it's not the purpose of life. We came here to go through this school, this world, this magic show, because the self is aware, projecting an aspect of itself into this material world with all the confrontations that come, is a profound spiritual way of unfolding and unfolding. And the more we do that consciously, the more powerful this becomes. Everybody does that. Even as a person who has not a single spiritual thought in their lifetime, but just go from day to day through their daily life, totally identified, but just facing all those challenges all the time that invariably come. Causes something very profoundly to unfold, to become stronger. Simply, if we do that unconsciously, it's a very slow and painful process. It's such a drag, just being pushed along by the life events, totally identified, and suffer most of the time, and have some good little moments in between, and then just surviving again till the next good little moment. If we learn to live consciously, consciously conscious, in the present, connecting with that divinity, then this becomes a magic play, this world, where every situation can help us to really go deeper, and something very beautiful is unfolding. Essentially, you're remaining the same, and yet at the same time, the experience of it, the power of it, the beauty of it keeps on unfolding and unfolding. We came for that, so let's make the best out of it and not resist what is happening. If we can improve situations, fine. Doesn't mean we should not improve situations. We can improve situations all the time, but with more or less success. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Is there anybody else who would like to come? Please come.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Klaus.
Good you brought up about career. It's hitting me, but with a different perspective this morning, because I have resigned my job, so I only have 1 week left of it.
I see.
And then I was going to do some other things, but they don't seem like that's going to happen, or there was some issue about the collaboration, which gave me not the best vibe to go into that relation, to work so closely with another business partner. So I'm a bit on the ground zero again with my plans. But it's a bit different now than before, because now I don't feel that big pull of just jumping into something or just to get my way ahead. I feel more like I want to maybe let things unfold in a more natural way. It's I also see that people have so much things they want and they try to grasp it, and then I see, do they really need all these kind of things on their way? So I think it would be good if you could speak some more about why we are, or why I am so hold on into this idea of being something and getting something done on my time on this earth.
It was drilled in us since we were kids that we should somehow grow up to be somebody. Parents drill that in the children because they want to be proud of their children and parade their children in front of others and say, see, my children. And then it becomes a way of thinking, a way of feeling, a way of life, how to be. And if we don't question it, then we can go through the whole life and always think that's the purpose of life. And if it functions to some extent, people are somewhat happy about it. And if it doesn't function, they are miserable about it. But no matter what big thing you did, no matter how many people you could impress, no matter what big house you had and big car and swimming pool and and maybe private jet. Once you get out of that world, it's gone. All gone in one moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore. But whether you have been living your life consciously, whether you have learned to go from moment to moment, consciously connecting with the source, that is building up another type of wealth. Totally different type of wealth. And once this physical life is over, that wealth is still with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so opposite of all how the conditioning is working, especially here also when I resigned, and then everybody, oh, you have no job, how can you resign, how can you go out there without any income coming in? And but just feel like sitting in front of a computer 7.5 hours each day is not for me. So
last time I was in Switzerland, somebody thought, yeah, I'm just living some kind of a happy-go-lucky, easy hippie life.
Yeah.
Not caring about anything, and made jokes and said, yes, anyhow, you think that what's the point in earning money, because anyhow you die and leave all the money back. And I said to him, yes, you don't leave one single penny. You don't take one single penny with you. But then I added, but there is another wealth. A wealth that we can accumulate, and that wealth we are taking with us when we are going, and I'm interested in that wealth. And that person was totally shocked and didn't like at all what I said. it was so contradictory, as you say, to the usual way of thinking and feeling how we have been conditioned.
Yeah, it's and it can, I think also it's quite the mind also is quite tricky, or it's good with just being subtle. So it can be okay, now I try to find this spiritual way of concept of living instead. But that also is like a concept, like almost like the hippie you were talking about. And I shall not earn money, and so it becomes like a truth, but it's just on the other side of that coin.
Whether you are earning money or not earning money, as long as you are identifying yourself with the person, whether you are identifying yourself with the person ID, I have to struggle and make a career and earn a lot of money, or whether you are identifying with the ID as a person, no, I'm not the person who is going to spend the time, my life earning money. You're still totally same identified. It's not whether you are earning money or not. It's whether you are learning to be conscious in what you are doing.
Yeah.
Ramana, he was there sitting and not doing anything and not being involved. He never took sannyas, but he was the total sannyasi. And often householders came to him and asked, please, Bhagavan, allow me to become a sannyasi. And nearly every time, I know one exception, but maybe there were other exceptions. But all the time, usually, he told these people, hey, go back and live your life in your family, do your duty, and do your self-inquiry when doing your duty. Yeah. But you simply want to become a sannyasi because you want to run away from the troubles that you are facing in your life. And then when you are a sannyasi, you are identifying yourself with the idea of being a sannyasi, and there you are still totally on the same, in the same situation. The same identification is there.
Do you think with Ramana that even though he seemed like he was the most coolest person on earth, like and he wasn't a person, but he was just really cool about everything. But do you think it was something happening on his inside also, that he had his things that he was going through in his life, or did these things kind of disappear, or was he just able to be totally cool about these things as well?
I mean, everybody in their own level have their challenges being incarnated in this world. Simply, there are levels of it. And Ramana seems to be a very, very exceptional person. He grew up and he was already a bit withdrawn, rather, and people sometimes mistook that he's a bit dull, that, well, he's not getting so involved in things that people thought, he's a bit dull, but he was not. And then suddenly his conscious experience was transformed in one stroke, and he was an exception in that was not just an experience that inspired him, and then he was again in the old state, but he found himself in a new state. It was not the end of the story, but he immediately started suddenly from an entirely different level, and from there it built up. And once you are starting from there, that level, whatever little problems one has to face and one is dealing with, they don't look so serious. So I don't think he had to go to a lot of that kind of struggle. Confrontations are always there, because there are many levels where confrontations can be, but not this petty little stuff that most of the people are busy with all the time. I mean, after that he was there and had an ashram growing around him towards the end of the life, and then all these little petty human problems would approach him, and people fighting with each other, and he had to make decisions about all these material things. But sometimes he was also showing anger, and sometimes he was stern, or then he was sweet and playing as he is at all, not at all involved, even when he still was pulling the strings all the time, playing his guru games like any other, even if he externally was less involving in that. But those challenges, they were there, not involving him in an emotional way that he has to struggle with. I'm sure about that.
Yeah.
That his challenges were more of the kind how to make the most out of it for the common good in every situation.
Yeah, that's a different level. That's a totally different level than
Yes.
trying to make it. Try to just go to zero yourself. It seems like he was working from zero and upwards.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Werner.
You're welcome. I wish you well with your adventure.
Yeah, thank you.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Okay. We can still keep talking for some time. Is there anybody else who would like to come? Please come. Nobody has much questions today. Hello, there is Eric.
Hello, Werner. How are you?
Oh, I'm quite fine.
Grace made up happen because 2 days delay, but finally we're here.
Yes, it was certainly an unexpected little challenge there. The company didn't inform us. We came in the middle at 2 o'clock in the night there after 5 hours of taxi to the airport. And there was not a soul there of that flying company.
Wow.
That plane was simply not there and nobody was there. So there we were a bit running around and trying to find a solution that it can be shifted to some other company, but nothing came out of it. Then actually it was quite a good, nice experience those 2 days in the hotel. It was near the airport, but because not many planes are going, it was not noisy all the time. And because usually it's a noisy place, not much is there out there. So it was a bit like being out in the countryside. So we had 2 relaxing days there. It was a nice crew. We made good friends with the kitchen crew. He wrote me this morning, the cook wrote me this morning a WhatsApp. And then the one thing that was ugly and that I really totally disliked was that we had to do a second test.
Yeah, when you notice that in the beginning, I laughed because now he knows what I mean when I go to work and they want to test me all the time.
Yeah. I mean, there are different types. There are tests, they are simply going in the beginning of the nose, and those who did the PCR test here there in Tiruvannamalai in the lab, they were quite gentle about it. So it was not that much of a big deal. But there is a fast PCR test that after 1 hour you have the result, and they really went for it. Oh my God.
They went deep, huh?
Yes.
Oh, that's the one I got the deep and both nostril.
In both nostrils. Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, quite unamused. Huh?
But anyhow, that also is a test, a moment of disgust, and after that, the after effect. But so what? if I can, I will avoid to do that ever again.
That's why I was happy when my boss told me that I don't need to test anymore.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah.
So it was in Bangalore you were in those 2 days, eh?
Yes.
And everything ran smoothly after when you came in Switzerland?
So far, yes. I was surprised. I thought I'm going to meet officials who tell me you should do this and that, but so far I got only a message that I should connect to a certain number, which I will do then later this day. And then they will most probably tell me the rules of the next 10 days, and that's about it. So it went quite smoothly.
So it's just 10 days, not 40 days.
10 days, I think.
Oh,
They
that's
will.
cool.
That's what I heard. They will tell me now when I contact them. But then, by God's grace, a good friend offered us their apartment. They are not staying right now there, and it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, those beautiful purple flowers, they're amazing.
Ah, this, yes, they are orchids, huh? I think. And also, when you have a look out of the window, getting mixed up with the cables.
Wow.
A nice place to be. I hope
It looks like a small Arunachala.
it's looking a bit all around. Not only this view of this window, all around there is green fields, a few houses and forests.
Wow. A lot of green.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
I hope when I talk to them and explain the situation that we are not putting anyone in danger, that it's okay with them that we go out for walks.
Yeah.
But it's not sure.
We'll see then.
We'll see then. Anyhow, did you want to talk about anything else about then our arrival in Switzerland?
The only pop-up things that come up, it's about true dispassion. How one can cultivate true dispassion. Because last time you told me that practice will not lead me to liberation. So it stays on my mind too. So both things I would like you to clarify if you can, please.
Yes. That's the difficult thing for the sadhak to accept, that practice is very useful, and yet it's not that we have to have a certain amount of practice, that we somehow like have to earn a certain amount of money and then you are free. It's not how many hours we have practiced that really matters. Of course, practice is very helpful because practice gives insight. Practice makes us more conscious. And when we are more conscious, we become more aware what we are doing, how we are functioning. If we are practicing and practicing and practicing and not starting to look honestly at ourselves, then that practice doesn't lead us very far. The main thing is that we learn to have more and more an honest, good look at ourselves and see how we are functioning, see how unnecessarily we are creating tensions, see how destructive we are often out of habit, and then learn to let go of those traits. And if we do that and practice at the same time, then practice helps us very much, because practice gives a lot of insight, increases the consciousness that we can see clearer what is going on. The practice helps us in between. You have those moments of being more peaceful, not always in practice. Sometimes we try to be peaceful and it goes, but still those moments will come. And those moments will also come when we are not practicing. They help us to be then more alert when it's not so silent, and to see clearer. With that increased clarity, it's easier to let go. But that is the main thing, that letting go. The true dispassion that you're talking about doesn't necessarily mean to give away your things and become poor, like Francis of Assisi. That was his approach. He was a rich merchant's son, and then he just gave up all of that, and then his father was so angry that he said, okay, then if you don't want to be my son anymore and my and in my business, then even the clothes that you have on, they are also mine. So he took off the clothes and dropped them also. Until a poor man came and put a robe around him. I mean, this may express itself in certain cases like that, but the true dispassion is really to let go of those things that create destructive reactions, that create suffering, suffering for ourselves, suffering for others. To learn to see them properly, we have to have, at least to some extent, we have to see what's going on, that we are capable to let go of them. And practice helps us a lot to see, but we cannot say that if your conscious experience changes, that is the direct result of practice. It's not mathematics, that much practice, that much you get out of it. The practice helps us daily to be clearer again, calmer again, and that increased clarity, that increased calmness makes it easier to see what's going on. And the easier we see what's going on, the more easy it becomes to start to let go those things that makes us unnatural, that we can come back to the natural state of way of existence.
The pure light.
The pure light.
Pristine.
Yes, pristine. Everybody is that. We never
Yes.
lost it, but we overshadowed it with all those habitual ways of functioning. And there the practice helps a lot of learning to become aware of it. I know people who have been doing practice and practice and practice, but don't take the trouble of looking at themselves. And so they practice and practice. Still, in the long run, they will get something out of it. It will still be more conscious than if they had not done that. But if they had really shifted in the mind that idea that the important part is to have a good look at myself and see how I'm functioning, see how at the same time I want things I don't want, I want to go left and right simultaneously, and I have always these negative reactions. Instead of seeing them and letting them go, I always insist on justifying and blaming everybody else but myself. All these things that people are doing all the time. If you don't take the trouble to have a good look at it, it's very, very difficult to give it up. So practice helps us a lot to be clearer about it, but still that intent and that readiness has to be there to let go, to stop always blaming everybody else for our troubles. Have a good look at ourselves and see, oh, actually, okay, I may meet difficult situation, but the suffering I'm creating, I'm doing that to myself.
Yes, I'm responsible for my own state.
Yes.
And that's the true, we can say like the real bank account that
Yeah.
we're gonna bring. Maybe the best thing is not to go back in another life, but if we go back in another life, then we have this bank account that is gonna be good.
Your life is never stopping. It's maybe at a certain time you stop that human story, that human experience, but you are already having that bank account with you. It's not that you have to wait until maybe eventually you decide to incarnate again in a human form and there you have a bank account, but it's with us every moment, even if we are not aware of it. And most of the time, people, even if they don't become aware of it, then at the time of leaving this human manifestation, that awareness told, oh, there's so much beneficial energy has been built up. I was not even aware that it was there. It's simply there, that account.
Because if we look at Ramana, we can see that from his past life, he did some practice, because it was just a little thing when he was 17. He had the death experience, and then it was finished, you know. There was nobody, there was no me, and there was no I in this body. All what that it was doing, it was just Arunachala, pure light.
Wherever it came, he certainly came with a big capital. wherever it came from. We cannot now conclude because he has done this, he has done that, and so. But it's sure he came with a big capital. That all it needed was like a little push, and there he went. I mean, a little push. He had suddenly that feeling, now I'm going to die. And everybody else would have panicked totally. And then he thought, okay, then let's do that consciously. Very cool. He simply lay down and imitated dying and thought, okay, this body is now dying. It came very strong, that feeling, now I'm dying. So instead of resisting, he accepted, okay, I'm dying, so let us do it consciously, see what happens. And lay down and put his body already in the posture like a dead body, and then feeling that his body is dying, and becoming aware, oh, okay, body is dead, but I'm still there.
But I'm still there. I'm still aware.
I mean, obviously, he was such a mature being. Who could react like this in a situation where that certainty was there? Now I'm going to die. Everybody else would react with total panic.
Yeah, he said, I will not contact anyone, not friends, I will deal this with myself. That's
right,
it.
right. I mean, he was a very exceptional being.
Exceptional being.
Wherever his capital came, he came already with a huge capital. Okay.
Okay.
Then I think, yes, we are stopping the Satsang official part for today. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.